Hello guys, and welcome to the 13 days of Dragon Ball Z, inspired by the 12 days of Christmas obviously. Throughout these upcoming days, including Christmas and Boxing Day, I'll be creating short videos reviewing all of the 13 original Dragon Ball Z movies that were released. Yes, I said 13, so Battle of Gods and Resurrection F do not count. The movies that will be covered in this group of reviews consist of Dead Zone, The World's Strongest, Tree of Might, Lord Slug, Cooler's Revenge, The Return of Cooler, Super Android 13, Broly, The Legendary Super Saiyan, BoJack Unbound, Broly's Second Coming, Bio Broly, Fusion Reborn, and finally Wrath of the Dragon. One thing to note is that I will be talking about the Japanese dub of these films, so no Funimation English dub for me. The main criteria that I will be focusing on during these reviews include the animation quality, story, voiceovers, and eventually I'll give the overall rating out of 5. I'm not sure, let's just say 5 Dragon Balls out of 5 for now. Just if you're wondering, I'd give Battle of Gods a 5 out of 5 rating and Resurrection F a 4 out of 5 rating. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's move on to the first movie, Dead Zone or Return My Gohan in Japan. First of all, I like how the movie opens, since it cuts all the bullshit and gets straight into the action. That was a fantastic way to start off the first Dragon Ball Z movie. Anyway, the plot without giving away any spoilers is as follows. In the beginning of the movie, Garlic Jr. and his minions go around collecting Dragon Balls to wish for eternal life to Garlic Jr. They eventually end up kidnapping Gohan since he has a 4-star ball on his hat and Goku has to get him back. It turns out that Garlic Jr.'s father was going to be the next Kami of Earth, but since the previous Kami sensed evil in Garlic, he didn't get the role, so he and his son began seeking revenge. Throughout the course of the film, Piccolo and Krillin join in on the fight and eventually defeat Garlic Jr.'s henchmen. We find out that Garlic Jr. created a plane of existence known as the Dead Zone, which absorbs everything in it and leaves them in the void. If I were to compare it to a real-life object, I guess the Dead Zone would be some sort of vacuum or something. The story is indeed brief, but it gets right into what we want to see. Kick-ass fights, of course. Although the plot can be criticized for being a little too simple, but I don't mind it a whole lot. The art and animation looks fantastic for the time with good fight choreography throughout scenes. Obviously it's not to Battle of God standards in terms of fighting, but it still holds up to this day. The music was tense and it gave you a sudden feeling of shit was about to go down. The classic Kikuchi score is really impactful during the course of the movie. I think the best part about this movie is the abrupt beginning, because it's so unexpected and it totally works. If I had to be critical about anything though, it would be that sometimes the fighting could be a little bit repetitive at times, and how the film is so similar to the beginning of the Saiyan saga, but that's about it. Obviously the biggest issue about the movie is that it greatly contrasts and borrows things from the first few episodes of the show, the Saiyan arc. Another thing to point out is that the voice work by the Japanese cast, especially Masako Nozawa as Goku and Gohan, is fantastic. I really enjoyed their performances and it only gets better as the movies go on. To conclude, Dead Zone is a solid Dragon Ball Z movie, and a fun ride if you have some time to kill. It sets up the story quickly and efficiently, giving you exactly what you need to know and getting into the action almost immediately. I'd give this 4 out of 5 Dragon Balls. See you in tomorrow's review!